Hi, everyone. So today's session is going to be for out-of-province students. We're going to talk specifically about some things about University of Manitoba, as well as Manitoba in general, and kind of go over some of the application process with you. So just some housekeeping items before we get started. Just so you're aware, attendees are automatically muted when you enter today's session. It will be a 20-minute webinar, including a Q&A period. We'll also do Q&A function is enabled, so you can chat and raise your hand as well after the presentation today. So I can help answer any questions that you might have. So I'd like to get started by providing you with the traditional territories acknowledgement. So the University of Manitoba campuses are located on the original lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that were made on these territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we dedicate ourselves to move forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Verna Kraker. I am a student recruitment officer at the University of Manitoba. My primary region is all of Canada. So for any students who are out of province, such as yourselves, you can definitely contact me going forward. I can easily be your point of contact. So you can actually email me directly at verna.kraker@umanitoba.ca, and I'd be more than happy to help assist you in the application process or any issues or questions that you might have about the University of Manitoba. So first things first, I think we should get started with a little bit of knowledge about Winnipeg in general. So if you're not aware, the University of Manitoba is located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and it's right kind of in the heart of Canada. So we're right in the middle. We're very close to the US border, about an hour and a half away, but we're kind of right in the center there. So it's kind of nice. You can kind of go to all the different places pretty easily across Canada. We are actually one of the most cost competitive cities across the US and Western Canada. So this is awesome and really great to know, just because sometimes it is important to be aware of how expensive things are going to cost once you actually live somewhere. So our average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Winnipeg is under $1,200. And you can see, compared to Toronto or Vancouver, that goes up substantially. So you're definitely going to get a good cost of living here. Average international tuition is also quite a bit different and quite a bit lower as well. We were actually named one of Canada's best communities by Maclean's, and I personally think we're a really underrated city. We have over 130 different festivals every single year. So at the bottom right-hand corner there, we have like our picture of a Festival de Voyageurs. That's a really awesome festival. It's like they do ice sculptures, as you can see in the background there. They do set up kind of little tents, and they have music, and it's just a really fantastic scene. We also have our folk festival, which is like the largest in North America. So there's just lots and lots of arts and culture that you're going to get here within Winnipeg. We also do, of course, experience all 4 seasons. So you're going to get your beautiful summers, sunny summers, but then we also have our fall, spring, as well as our winters. And we actually have over 1,300 urban parks, so there's lots and lots of green space for you. So I'll tell you a little bit about our campus as well. So if you haven't been to the University of Manitoba before, this is an aerial shot of our campus here. So we actually have 2 campuses. We have our Fort Garry campus, which is our main campus, which is the one that I've pictured here. And we also have our Bannatyne campus, which is our downtown campus located in downtown Winnipeg, but it's called our Bannatyne campus, and it houses all of our health sciences programs. This particular shot here, you can kind of see where you might be studying around campus. So it is a traditional walking style campus. At the bottom here, if you're studying sciences, is kind of our science cluster of buildings. If you're studying in the Faculty of Arts, you'd be studying primarily over here. This is our School of Art building back here, our Asper School of Business, Music, and then we also have our Agriculture and Food Sciences and Engineering. Of course, we do have many other programs, but I think it's important to kind of note this general circle, because students in their first year, they often take courses in a variety of these different areas. And then once they get more specialized, you'll probably find yourself more so in different pockets of campus. So we are actually the oldest university in Western Canada. We were founded in 1877. And we're actually the only research-intensive university in the province of Manitoba. And we are actually a part of the U15. So the U15 is basically 15 universities across Canada that are recognized. It just means that you're going to get a really good quality of education coming to study with us. And we do have a lot of areas that we lead within research as well. We have just under 30,000 students studying with us from all over the world. We, of course, are very welcoming and inclusive and are home to a very culturally rich and diverse community on our campus. So one of the key takeaways that I want you to know is that no matter what your background is or your orientation, we will accept you and welcome you at the University of Manitoba. I do also want to talk about some different ways that you can enhance your experience beyond the classroom as well. So because this is an out of province session, of course, I would have to mention our residence. So we actually do have 6 on-campus residence buildings that are available. Most of the time for first year students would choose between Mary Speechley, University College, and Pembina Hall. Some rooms are single rooms, your own bathroom. Some have more shared accommodation style. You can apply early as rooms are allocated on a first come first served basis. So just make sure that when you're applying to the University of Manitoba, that you're also applying to residence if you want to be considered and live on campus. We have over 150 different student groups for students to get involved in. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do. We have anything from interest-based student groups to program-based student groups, cultural student groups. There's so many different things that you can do. And then we also have a wonderful active living center, which is like our big gym. And we have 2 pools there, racquetball courts, tennis ball courts, free fitness classes. It's all included in your tuition. So definitely check that out because it's an amazing facility. And we actually do have study abroad opportunities in 20 different countries around the world. So if you're interested in doing an exchange and going to study somewhere else, you can actually do that for an entire semester. And then your credits will be, seen here at the University of Manitoba, and you pay the same University of Manitoba tuition abroad as you would here. So it's definitely a very, very good opportunity to get out and experience the world as well. So now we're going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of our undergraduate programs. So I do apologize for this slide because it is a little overwhelming, but at the University of Manitoba, we have over 100 different internationally accredited programs. So we have lots and lots of areas here. We have over 100, as I mentioned, but the areas in bold as well as underlined in blue are faculties. So when you apply, you would apply to a faculty, and then essentially from there, you would maybe pick your major, your minor, or something later on. Any of the areas that we have listed here that have a orange dot next to them, would indicate to you that we have a co-op option there as well. So that's an option for students to get a lot of hands-on experience within a job setting as well. So students can enter programs through we have two different kinds of programs, I should say. We have direct entry programs and advanced entry programs. So direct entry programs, students can apply to directly from high school. So these are the programs that are listed here. So if any of the areas you're interested in here and you're in grade 12, you can absolutely apply to them directly if you meet the admission requirements. Otherwise, it might be something that we have called advanced entry. So advanced entry is when students are required to do some university study before they can actually apply to that particular program. So these programs are listed here. If you are interested in any of these, you would probably have to do some university, or you would have to do some university before you can apply into that particular program area. They might range. So it might be 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe an entire degree. It just depends on the program that you're interested in. So let's talk a little bit about University One. So you may have seen University One on our direct entry admission slide, and you might have been a little bit confused. So University One is a unique program to the University of Manitoba. It allows students to sample different programs before deciding their second year which program they want to go into. It counts as your first year for any 3 or 4 year degree program. And students would actually go from University One into the Faculty of Arts or the Faculty of Science without an application. If at that point in time you were like, I really want to do business, you would just apply into business, but you'd be starting in second year of that program if you took those business courses that first year. So lots of opportunities here if you're not really sure what you want to study. Sometimes students wonder, why should I choose University One over a direct entry program? It's really good if you're undecided about what you want to study, or maybe you're debating between a couple of different options. Instead of applying to all of them, you can apply to University One, take courses in all of them, and then really make an educated decision about what you want to do going forward. Also, if your program requires 1 or more years of study, we would encourage students to apply to University One and start their studies there first. The admission requirements are also different for University One than they are for direct entry. So they're a little bit more competitive for direct entry programs. So if maybe you don't meet the competitive average, you could then apply for University One instead as well. So then I'm going to tell you what some of our admission requirements are and where to find that information. So you should review 3 sets of requirements. So because this is a across Canada out of province session, every province has different criteria on how many courses they have to meet our general admission. So the point number 1 here is reviewing your high school graduation with a certain amount of grade 12 classes. So you can review how many you need by your province on the provincial course equivalencies chart. I have the link provided here. Definitely go check that out. So they are going to vary by province. So you just want to make sure that you meet our general admission. So that is for every single program. For every single program, you'd want to make sure that you have that requirement. Then we also have program-specific admission requirements as well. So every single program is going to be based on about a certain average across 4 specific courses pertaining to that degree. So that can be different. So you'll want to make sure you review those requirements. And then you also want to make sure that you're reviewing your prerequisites. So those are courses from high school that you would take to make sure that you're being able to take university level courses as well. So let's go over a couple of examples. So let's say you're interested in University One, after I've explained it a little bit. University One would require a minimum 70% average with no less than 60% in each course. So that's going to be your senior level English, your senior level mathematics, a third, and a fourth senior level academic course. Okay, so if you have a 70% over those, with no less than 60 each one, then you would get admitted to our University One program. Okay, whereas perhaps you would like to look at more of a direct entry option. So something like engineering. It is a minimum average of 80%, no less than 70% in a senior level English, senior level pre-calculus, senior level chemistry, and physics. So these would be grade 12 courses only that we'd be looking at. And we do say a minimum 80% average. Depending on the students applying that year, that average can go up. Okay, so you just want to be mindful of that. One of the great things about our programs is if, let's say, you apply to a direct entry program and you don't get admitted to that program based on that competitive average, we'll actually automatically consider you for University One. So you never have to apply to University One and a direct entry program. So hopefully that makes sense, that you'll kind of have that always as a fallback. Okay, so then let's talk about the application process. So if any of you are in grade 12 right now, this is going to be your kind of timeline. For those of you who are maybe younger, if you are attending today's session, this is kind of the timeline, but this is more so for fall 2023. So our applications opened in October, and music has an early admission deadline of January 15th. So you just want to be mindful of that. They do have a theory test and an audition. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And that's why it's earlier on than the rest. However, all of our other programs for direct entry, the deadline is March the 1st. So just make sure you're applying by March 1st. Then in May is going to be when you want to submit your interim documents usually. So that's your first semester final grades, your second semester midterm grade. We would need to see those grades by May the 1st. And you would want to make sure that you're arranging that with the school to send them over or through the Ministry of Education in your province. And then in July, of course, you would need your final documents sent. So again, arranging that with the Ministry of Education. These things aren't done automatically. Every province is slightly different. So you want to make sure that you're submitting your documents on time so that we can consider your application complete. So there are, of course, some steps to apply. So as we kind of mentioned already, you're going to want to review our admission requirements, and you can apply online. Once you apply and pay the application fee, it takes about 10 to 15 business days for your application or to be published. And that just means that there'll be any outstanding documents that will say on the application portal. So you have access to that. It's $120 for international students to apply and $100 for Canadian citizens. Step 2 is going to be to submit your documents. So again, make sure you check your application portal for any of those requirements. You want to, again, make sure you submit your interim transcript by May 1st. This is not done automatically, as well as your final documents are due by July the 7th. Step 3 is going to be to accept your offer of admission. So accepting that offer by the deadline provided, you then would activate your University of Manitoba accounts. You can plan your first year and register for courses and pay your tuition. We do provide a lot of next steps information in the springtime, so just keep your eyes out for that. We will kind of go over registration, all that stuff, and provide you with a lot of good resources. Then I do want to also leave you with some tuition and award information. So our average tuition for a student studying at the University of Manitoba is about $5,400. So that is a maximum course load for fall and winter term. Then of course, books and supplies and student fees are around $2,200. So you're looking at an estimated total of about $7,690 for your first full year of university. If you are looking at adding residence, it does come with a meal plan as well. Those can range anywhere from $7,000 to $14,000 depending on the room selected. So how do we pay for these things? We do also have scholarships. So entrance scholarships are by far the most common scholarship that we give out. So as long as students are applying by March the 1st and they have a minimum 85% average over their best 5 courses from a pre-approved list, they'll be automatically considered for either $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000. We also do have AP and IB scholarship enhancements. So for every class that you take, there might be a little additional top up that you can receive as well. So then I did want to leave you with some events and opportunities going forward. So you can attend a campus tour if you'd like. We do have campus tours happening every single Friday. umanitoba.ca/campus tours is where you can register for that if you want to come out to Winnipeg, see what it's all about. But also we have a really wonderful platform now online, so you can definitely check out the campus virtually as well. So definitely go online, check that out. And of course, we will have live and recorded webinar series. So this will be one of them, of course, but all of those are going to be listed on our website at the link provided there. So thank you all so much for attending today's session.